Hello. Are you ready to figure out exactly what your vibrational frequency is? Like the number, right? Like the number of frequency. That's how fast your cells vibrate, and figure out where you've been and where you're going and how to actually move through the layers, the levels of consciousness. And also, again, get the exact number of where you're at. The Map of Consciousness Explained by David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD. And I am not getting paid for any of these. I'm just sharing them. These are books. I have a stack of them right here that I commonly recommend. And so I'm going over them all at once here. The Map of Consciousness Explained. This is for the data hosts. If you're a data hoe and you need the data because you need to understand where you're at and where you're going and what your number is, because that's so fun, there is an appendix right here in the back that teaches you how to do the muscle testing and how to word it. Because here's the thing, everyone can do muscle testing once you learn how to do it, but how you phrase the questions is so exceptionally dependent on the types of answers that you're going to get. If you're phrasing the questions for the answer you want, you are not going to get the correct answer. But if you are phrasing the questions in a neutral tone to get the true answer, then you will get the true answer. And this book not only tells you exactly where you are in the scale of consciousness, but also how to get the true answers. And not only can you muscle test yourself, you can muscle test anything you can think about. You can muscle test the Mona Lisa. You can muscle test a meal that you're about to eat. You can muscle test your pet or a new friend you're thinking about bringing into the fold. You can muscle test literally everything, and this book will tell you exactly how to get there. So The Map of Consciousness Explained, David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD. Give her a Google. You can find it everywhere. What about why your body is doing the things that it's doing? Because every physical ailment points to a spiritual imbalance. The reason why we have the physical ailments is because there's a spiritual imbalance that wasn't getting your attention until it manifested in a physical way. And if you want to find out what those spiritual imbalances are based on your physical ailments, Soul Speak by Julia Cannon. Yes, that's Dolores Cannon's daughter. I love this book. It's such a useful, handy-dandy little guy, so packed full of information. You can use it as a resource. You can read it. You can do both. It doesn't matter. Soul Speak by Julia Cannon. What if you wanted to heal your body? And heal, I mean, understand it. Yeah, because that's the first start, and this is how you can clear the shadow, etc. But if you really truly wanted to heal your body and you feel like your physical form is completely out of whack, completely out of balance, Spontaneous Healing by Dr. Wheel, MD. MD. I was going to say MD PhD, but I don't think that he is. Nope, he's an MD. This guy, oh my God, when I was reading this book, it was like all of the things that I knew to be true, but I couldn't quite put words to them yet. It's like he was in my brain reading my thoughts. And I go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was panicking. Ask my coven if you knew who they were. You could ask my coven, because I was panicking in like a good way, texting them in the group being like, oh my God, you guys, he's in my brain. Oh my God, I just want to reach out to this man, write him a letter, because the things that he wrote in this book, unbelievably good. So this is to get your physical form back in alignment, and also explains why in a really palatable way. But what if you have some sort of physical ailment that's like, you know, an illness or a disease state? You can heal those things too. My teenager needed me imminently. It was very important. It was not. If you want to heal your body because you have some sort of disease state, disease process, you can actually heal your body. I've healed myself of multiple ailments, and I have a very close friend who has healed herself of 2 autoimmune disorders. You can do it. This book shows you how. Deepak Chopra's Quantum Healing. This book is unbelievable. The stories, the anecdotes. He leads you through this journey in a way that makes it so easy to understand how you get from where you are now, having no idea how to do it, all the way to the end result. It is so enlightening in just the most insane way. This book is incredible. This can heal anything. The example that he uses in the very, very first part of this book is somebody with stage 4 cancer and how she healed it within herself. Now, it's a lot of work to do it, but this is how you do it. These are the steps. So Quantum Healing by Deepak. Love our man Deepak, so good. But what if you want to know more about death? You're afraid of death, or you're grieving someone, or you just want to understand it better. You have questions, right? What happens when we die? Because hello, is that not like the biggest question ever of humanity? Between Death and Life by Dolores Cannon. So we had Julia, now we got Dolores, the mama. Between Death and Life by Dolores Cannon is one of the most eye-opening books that I have ever read about death. This takes people in regressive hypnotherapy sessions, so it's their higher self speaking. The ego is taken a nap. It is not even involved in this scenario. And the higher self is explaining what happens once a human dies and all that space in between before they reincarnate again. This is exceptionally enlightening. I could not put it down when I started reading it. So Between Death and Life by Dolores Cannon. But what if you're more quant to me and you're like, I want to understand these parallel lives that I have going on, and I want to understand how I can control this. I want to understand how I can hop to better and better timelines. Number one, I do have a 3D, 5D playlist for free right now, linked in my bio, that you can watch, which tells you exactly how to do that. But if you want it in more book form, or if you've already read that and you're just like hungry for more, this one right here, Moving Through Parallel Worlds, and it's by Kevin Michel. Moving Through Parallel Worlds. This book, so good also. The way he explains the super complicated stuff that's usually really hard for a human's brains to understand, and he just puts it in a very easy to understand, easy to just like read and be in the flow of how these parallel lives work and how you can choose the one that you want. So Moving Through Parallel Worlds. It's very quant to me and it's very good. But what if you're like, hey, that guy Jesus, I'm going through some religious trauma, and you want to be able to separate the religion from the Jesus, because religion really just took over that whole guy's persona, right? And made it all about the religion, and it's not about the religion. So if you want to know about an ascended master, or Jesus in particular, and you want to actually understand who he was, who he stood for, things that happened in his life that are not mentioned in the Bible, Jesus and the Essenes by Dolores Cannon. We stand Dolores, man. We love her so much. Jesus and the Essenes by Dolores Cannon. This book is incredible. She explains in the beginning, but it's a past life regression that happened with one of her clients, and they accidentally came across a life of hers in which she came into contact with Jesus Christ himself, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, right? She came into contact with him. And so they went back then again on purpose to find more and more information about this. And anyway, it's a whole journey. This was one of the most incredible books that I have ever read, and I couldn't put it down. And if you love it, there's a second one called They Walked with Jesus, but start with this one first, because whoa with this book. This is the actual true ascended master without the religious tint applied to it. But what if you're trying to manifest and you're like, I don't know what the freaking heck I'm doing here, right? You are manifesting all of the time, whether you realize it or not. So you might as well learn how it works so you can manifest to your benefit, right? Hello. That's how you win the game, right? You win the game with awareness and belief. So if you're wanting to learn how to manifest, this is by far the best book and the only book you'll ever need. The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. There are a million Law of Attraction books, so make sure you are getting the one by Esther and Jerry Hicks. That's very, very important. This book changed my life. This was the first ever metaphysical book that I read, and oh my God, did it open my brain in such a massive way. This book is so good. It also explains at the very beginning of it how Esther started to channel an entity named Abraham when she didn't even really believe that that stuff was possible. The whole story is so good, and it is the step-by-step of how Law of Attraction works so you can manifest. But what if you're like, I understand that, Sam. I understand how to manifest, except I'm not doing a very good job of it, or I have these like financial issues and I keep seeming to come from lack, and I don't understand why I can't just have like a comfortability with money. Then what you're going to want is Money and the Law of Attraction, again by Esther and Jerry Hicks. It takes all this business and it puts it on like a money spin, a financial spin, an abundance spin, because it's not just about money. This is about abundance, because money, just like everything else, is an energy. It's nothing more than an energy. So if you need that specifically geared toward abundance to break those abundance blocks that you've got, Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. These books are so good. Oh my God, I threw it down. I shook the whole camera. Now, if you have a book that's changed your life, okay, please add it in the comments, the title with the author, okay? And I really mean changed your life. And please try to not put 25 books on there, because people aren't going to look at that, but people will look at one recommendation, right? If it's changed your life and somebody else has already put that title there, give it a little heart so we can see how many people that book has changed their life. Books are the way to expand your consciousness. One way to expand your consciousness that's accessible, right? It's kind of easy to be able to access this stuff. And all of these books are, I believe, on audio as well as print. So get whatever format fits you. I love you guys so much.